Rosinkranz. If you don't know her name, you'll definitely know her music. If you've been on TikTok in the past year, you'll come across her breakout hit, Backyard Boy, which has over 127 million streams on Spotify at the moment, over 3 million uses on TikTok, and in comparison, Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license only has about 1.7 million videos under that song. But off the back of that success, she released her debut EP, Beverly Hills Boyfriend, and now she's chased it up with 6 in a Billion, a collection of 6 songs out of the billions she's written since she was 8 years old. For fans of Olivia Rodrigo meets Benny, meets Psycho, you'll love this alt blues pop teen sensation, Claire Rosinkranz. I'm Tate McGregor, and she's just sat through that whole entire intro. Claire, how are you?
That was great. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very well. Hey, congrats on the new EP, man.
Thank you so much. I'm so hyped about it.
I bet. I want to start at the very beginning of this collection. Hotel. Hotel is one that really stood out to me because as a teenager in the past, obviously, I was very secretive about all the rebellious things I did with my parents. This one you talk about sneaking out on Sundays, partying in hotels, just classic teenage rebellion. And your dad is notably your producer. When you brought this song to him, number one, were the stories true? And number two, did he already know about it, or were you really revealing yourself there?
So what I usually say is, or what I wrote it about basically is like, if you watch a show or a movie or whatever, you like see a character in the movies and you like, there's the rebellious kid or whatever. And so usually there's the classic rebellious teenager. And I was just like, if you study that character, like this is what their life would be like if it was put into a song. And I mean, like, obviously I have friends and whatever do that stuff all the time. And I write from a lot of different people's perspectives as well. So it's like, I don't know. I kind of brought it to him and I was like, this is like written from my friends' perspectives and all this stuff. And yeah, and they know that my friends do that too. So it's just like, I basically was mostly taking the standpoint of like writing about a rebellious teenager in like a classic like movie, you know? So yeah, and I mean like gathering all those little like, I don't know, just like the sneaking out and partying. And like, even if you don't do that stuff, it's like you can listen to this song and you can pretend like you're that rebellious teenager if you like aren't actually that, but you like want to feel a little bit like edgy. It's like you can listen to Hotel and be like, yeah, this is my life, even though it's not. But
yeah, just live vicariously through you.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so in that sense, Dad, it wasn't me. It's just my friends. Don't worry about me. So I imagine you would have mucked around in studio with him for years. But was there a turning point where that kind of became more official? Like, we're like, okay, let's work towards Claire as a proper artist now?
Yeah, so, I mean, like, he would constantly bring me into the studio growing up, and, like, even my sister sometimes, and he would have us record jingles or just, like, little, I don't know, just little things for projects that he was working on or TV shows or whatever it was. And then eventually, like, I would start, like, writing little things for him in the studio. And then it got to a point where I was like, oh, dang, I want to, like, actually do this. So I just was like, I want to do this. So I kind of just messed around with my sound when I was probably around 14. And then it got to, I don't know, whenever I made the EP, and then that was when I was like, I actually want to do this, and here's like the EP, and this is when I'm gonna like try my hardest to like get where I want to get. And then that was the EP, and obviously somehow I'm now here, which is dope. But yeah, it was just like a gradual thing because like I grew up with it in my family, and then eventually I was like, it was kind of bound for me to be like, I want to do this, you know? So yeah,
nice. Okay, so you mentioned you have sisters. Are they also musically inclined? Do they want to do this as well?
I mean, Ellie, my sister that's next in line to me, I'm the oldest of 4 sisters, and she is 15, and she is not really doing the music thing, but I have 2 younger sisters below that, and they're kind of in their figuring out stage, but they all like can sing, like all of them have great voices, and like I've sung with them, and they sound great, so I mean, they could totally do if they wanted to, but who knows.
Oh my god, awesome. We'll get the next like Haim band or something. All the sisters.
Yes ma'am.
Okay, well, Frankenstein is another one that I really want to chat to you about because it's quite literally a Frankenstein of inputs comparatively to the rest of your work. As I said, you work with your dad primarily, you're self-written, but this one was a song that was pitched to you and then produced by M Phases. And for those watching along, M Phases has worked with Australians such as Rule and Amy Shark, as well as like internationals like Dixie D'Amelio, Remy Wolf, who I know you love, Demi Lovato, Zara Larson. Talk to me about the idea of adopting a song. Was that nerve-wracking when that was put on the table?
It was a little bit nerve-wracking because I've always been super like I am a writer first and foremost, and so I want to write all my songs by myself. And like I mean, I've just had not a lot of reason to take a song from another person because I've just written so much, and like I usually like write a song a day if I want to. And so I'm just like, I don't really need to take a song from somebody else because I have so much of my own. It's kind of overwhelming sometimes. But then when the song was pitched to me, I heard it and I loved it, and it was also like a very nostalgic melody to me. Not even because of like Love Fool by the Cardigans, but because of Love Me by Justin Bieber. Like that's the version that I knew of that, like because like the melody's like da 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 bum bum, you know. And so anyways, I was just like, I really liked it, and at first I was like a tiny bit hesitant, but I loved it so much that I think it just kind of like took away the more like hesitant part of me. I mean, obviously the Cardigans would love for me to use that melody, and I was lucky to have it. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was cool, and it was like an opportunity and like experience that I was gonna have to experience eventually. So it was just cool that I got to do it with this song, and one of my friends even worked on the writing of it. So honestly, it was just fun. I'm glad I got to do it.
Oh, good to hear. And you've got cowbell in that song. Who doesn't love a song with cowbell?
Exactly.
Okay, so you mentioned that first and foremost, you're a songwriter. What is it? Do you feel like you need to be in a certain frame of mind for that process, or are you quite disciplined with the practice?
I feel like I'm definitely disciplined with the practice because just ever since I was obviously like 8 years old, it was just like I write whatever's on my mind, and I've never found it hard to put that into like a story or a song, just because I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. And it's just like, I don't know, I just like literally say whatever's on my mind. It's just like if I were to have a conversation with somebody and like tell them how I feel, it's just like the same thing, just in a song, and it just comes very naturally, which I'm obviously so lucky to have. And it's just like, I don't know, it's like therapeutic for me. It's honestly a therapy. And I've been able to just pump ones out right and left and write about my emotions, my feelings, or different people's perspectives, obviously, or just whatever. So yeah.
And I feel like that would have been quite intense, particularly over the past 12 months, to have that as an outlet to work through, because, you know, when you wrote Beverly Hills Boyfriend, the world was a different place. Your personal world was very different. How have you grappled with the last 12 months since skyrocketing plus going through a global pandemic at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I was just very lucky. Like, I am extremely blessed to have like gone through what I got to go through, because if it wasn't for the whole entire pandemic thing, oh my God, I can't even talk. If it wasn't for all that, like what happened probably wouldn't have happened to me, because it was quarantine. I feel like that kind of just like, when I put it on TikTok, it was something that people grasped onto because it was like a happy song, and like I had the time to work on that song because I had extra time due to quarantine. And so like if quarantine didn't happen and all that, like I probably wouldn't have gotten that out, and I probably wouldn't have like had Backyard Boy out. Maybe like that wouldn't have been inspired, or maybe that like moment wouldn't have happened because I wouldn't have had as much time to just like sit down and write or whatever. But like, I don't know, I was just very fortunate to have COVID bring me success. But I don't know, and I think it also just like created more content for my brain, because sometimes like not being able to hang out with your friends, or just like being stuck in your room or house or quarantine with your family, creates more like other types of content, you know. And like, I don't know, I didn't mind it because I've been homeschooled for a really long time, so it wasn't really a transition of like going from school to no school, but it was just like, I don't know, I got to spend more time with my family, and I think I'm just overall more thankful than sad. I kind of take it as something that was a good thing in a way, even though it was horrible, but like I made the most out of what was not that great.
The silver lining, absolutely. Exactly. Okay, well, now looking ahead, what's on the horizon for Claire Rosinkranz?
So tour, which I'm very excited, and anybody who's watching, November 3rd I think is the first show, literally. So excited for that. I just want to, that's like the most exciting thing for me, because I've gotten to experience everything else except for the tour. And so, or like except for like human interaction with people who listen to my music. And then I don't know, just more music, probably singles for now, or like whatever, and then a what else? Hopefully an album eventually, and then I don't know, just tour, literally tour.
Excellent. Oh, I can't wait. Claire, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. This was fun.